Well, good day, guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be an absolutely awesome video. It has become a bit of an annual tradition, and it's been a ton of fun for the years that we have done it. Please welcome back to the channel for about the third time, Mr. Luke Sports. And tonight we are going to be ranking 2023 NRL jerseys. We were waiting for all teams. I think it was the Newcastle Knights or the Roosters that we were waiting on. We were ready to film the video about a month ago. All the jerseys were out, but there was a team that was behind, letting us down. So now that they're all out, are you excited to rank tonight? Welcome back.
Oh, I'm very excited. I think it was before, I feel like definitely before Christmas, we were sort of in discussions about this. And yeah, I think it was just the Roosters. It's always the clubs that you're like, I kind of know what the jersey is, but just in case they kind of switch things up a little bit, we better let it go.
Yeah, well, there's definitely some changes to get through. I've seen some sneak peeks. I'm sure you have on Instagram. We were just talking about the Origins ones, which we might do as a separate video. They're not included in this one, but let's get straight into it now. You're the jersey expert. You know you're the jersey expert. And look, I'll speak about some of the changes, but I know Mr. Luke will help me traditionally a lot here. But the first one here is the Brisbane Broncos. And as you can see, you've got that kind of not even a yellow, it's more of a kind of orangey brown color towards the bottom. Looks like, a margarita pizza and then, I don't know, a barbecue pizza. It looks like two slices of pizza put together with an ASICS logo and a Broncos logo. You've got Adam Reynolds modeling this jersey. Look, I'm not a huge fan of this design personally. I think their previous designs have been fantastic. And as I mentioned, just looks like two slices of pizza. So for me, a very underwhelming jersey for the Brisbane Broncos, who are expected to have a big season. You want these jerseys to be flying off the shelves. I'm going to give this jersey about a 4.5 to a 4 out of 10.
No, I'm exactly with you. Like, generally, when I see the Broncos jersey, for most years, I generally like them. Like, for a long time, though, with Nike, I've always sort of rated the Broncos jersey. And with this one, they've kind of gone with, like, similar themes from previous years, but they've gone, like, a weird... I don't know. Like, this is generally, like, the first time I've seen this jersey. And, like, even the white little... like the neck, it's so thick and like
the neck looks terrible.
Just like the Kia, like between like the sponsor and everything, it just looks strange. Like you can tell it's the Broncos, but it's just a strange design. Just in terms of like nothing seems smooth and
that's their home
definitely one
jersey
of the weaker jersey. Like generally, like I said, like in previous years, Broncos always been a jersey. Like they would switch things up, they would try some things, which credit to them because a lot of clubs don't. But this is one of the ones where I'm like, oh, this is definitely not it. This is not it. No. So 4.5. Like that's pretty spot on, I think.
4.5. All right, let's move away from that one because it is disgusting. Now we move into the Canberra Raiders. Obviously, it's been a couple of years now. We all liked the Canberra Milk. Now we got that Toyota forklifts front and center with Canberra Milk in the middle. Not a bad design. I feel like it should be more green. I think they've gone with a very lighter green. I like how they've got these kind of retro stripes around the shoulder, lower or higher upper arm sleeve there. That's a nice little touch. And it looks like, they are different. Obviously, they've got the green on the away jersey stripes there. But if this jersey was a little bit more of a darker green, you don't really put a light green with Canberra. You don't associate it. But it's not a bad jersey, this one. So for me, I'm going to stick with a 6 here for that home one. And look, I don't mind the away one. I'll chuck in a 5 for that one.
So, again, I think you're pretty spot on with this one. Just like the Canberra Milk is so like synonymous with Canberra, but it's just more so like the Toyota forklifts is just like such a terrible sponsor for the jersey. And like you said, the green, I know they've sort of fluctuated in between like darker greens and lighter greens. But this sort of seems to be what they've gone with the last couple of years. But so it just seems a little bit off. Like it's not a bad jersey. It just seems a little bit off. I've noticed though, was it last year that they like the jersey that they're running right now, like sort of their heritage jersey, their traditional one? Was it? It was like the third jersey last year when they had like the black one. Was it like the?
Yeah, I remember there being some sort of
had 3 or 4 thing where I remember like the home jersey didn't really look like the home jersey, whereas like it was like the heritage jersey was the one we're kind of seeing now as the home, and the the home jersey was like a black and sort of blue sort of one, maybe, I feel like. So I don't know. At least they sort of deviated away towards that. But yeah, in terms of jerseys, like 6.5, like it's not a bad one. I think it's better than the Broncos for sure. But yeah, it's definitely not like a great jersey.
Do you think that away jersey there, how it's got those kind of pattern in the middle of the Toyota forklift, would work with the green as well? If they had, say, that color system where the upper arm is around that area, would that be a nice little addition to it?
I think so. I think like the away one, because it's got the white, I think it definitely blends in a lot more with the away jersey. It's just yeah, like the home one, it literally looks, like when you would see like bad photoshops and they'd have like they couldn't crop out the background and they just chuck it on top. That's what it looks like with Toyota forklifts. They just chucked it on there. Like this is something I see on Rugby League Live 4.
Yeah, it just looks cut, doesn't it? It looks like cut and paste. It doesn't look like any effort. It looks better on the white one, to be honest. The Toyota forklift looks a lot better on the white one. It just looks like a big sticker on that green one. But yeah, 6. We've both. Or you've gone 6.5. I've gone with 6. I will let you.
I'll go with 6. I'll go with 6.
I'll let you introduce the next one. Obviously, the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, if you guys don't know, is Mr. Luke's NRL team. Look, you must be pumped for this season. There's some great signings. It's a great club. Few differences in the home and away jersey. I'll let you break it down and give it a rating before I speak about it.
So I feel like the Bulldogs jersey is kind of similar to like every year we see the Roosters jersey, the Dragons jersey for sure. You don't really deviate too much. There's a V of some sorts and it's blue and white. Like it's pretty simple, but this is the first year in quite a long time where we've seen like a drastic change in the jersey. And even in terms of the away jersey, like it is very, very different. And it's something that I really, really like. I like it. I've seen, I don't know if these like pictures do it justice, and this probably goes for a lot of the jerseys we're going to see, just in terms of when you see them as they're playing or on the actual players, you go, oh, it looks a little bit better. But in terms of this one, like it's very basic, but I really do like it. In particular, the away jersey, like the blue. This is something that I feel like a lot of the times they would sort of experiment and play with, like trial games. They would play with this sort of design, and it'd always be something you'd go, damn, like the blue looks so nice. Like I don't understand. We've got like blue, such a nice color in general. Why do we not utilize this a lot more? But the home jersey, obviously the white's there, it looks nice and clean. The Lawney's Hotel, a lot of the times I talk about these jerseys and the sponsors is something that I'm like, man, the sponsors just stand out terribly. Like we just talked about with Canberra. With this one, it just blends in perfectly. You got the Sydney Tools there that kind of stands out a little bit. Probably not in a good way, but just in terms of the jersey itself, it's nice and clean. And look, I'm expecting big things from the doggies, but just jersey-wise, I really do like this jersey. I give it, like, it's not like the best one probably, but in terms of just a nice jersey compared to previous years, I give this like an 8.
Yeah, I agree with you here, around a 7.5 to an 8. I'm going to go with the 7.5. I think you're more wrapped on that away jersey going with that blue colour, but I kind of like them bringing back that classic feel of the Bulldogs blue and white colour. It just feels like a more classic one. You mentioned the Bondi Hotels sponsor. It does look very, very nice compared to some previous sponsors that the Bulldogs have had. And obviously the collar, a lot of teams, which you'll probably see, the collars just look messy. This just looks like a slim fit, nice design. The V doesn't look too much, and a nice little overlay of colouring there. So, yeah, I really like this jersey. And as I said, I think it's a 7.5 in my opinion. The away's nice, but that home one is probably one of my favourites I've seen so far.
I really like it when they did like a little unveiling of it. And I think like Jackson Tolpany and a few of those sort of guys came in. And that's when I messaged all my mates and I went, oh, shit, we're on this year. For some reason, just the jersey kind of dictates it. Like we haven't had, in my opinion, like a top-notch jersey since back in like the 2012 sort of era when I think it was Canterbury, like the Brain Canterbury took them, like they were the jersey makers. So that's sort of the last time I've seen a Bulldogs jersey and been like, it's really nice. Like obviously you had previous years and like you can't really deviate too much, but this is probably the furthest we've seen a Bulldogs jersey deviate in a long, long time. Like you go through all of the years back from like my whole lifetime, like I was born in 1995. the jersey's pretty similar every year. Like that's what I mean with like in terms of the Dragons and the Roosters and all that sort of stuff. Even like the Sharks at this point, this is like we're seeing it right now on the screen. Like this is classic Sharks. They don't deviate too much towards the general design. Where this is probably the first we've seen the Bulldogs actually deviate towards some of the designs they've had in the past.
Yeah, you mentioned the Sharks. They are the next team. They haven't really gone with too many changes for the year. Not that I can notice anyway. I think the sponsor around the, again, upper arm area, shoulder, looks really nice in the position that it's in. And it's a nice kind of darker blue colour than the light blue that you're getting for the jersey. The colour for the Aramex logo is a little bit odd. It's like an orangey red design. I think it really stands out a bit too weirdly for the jersey. But the points bet just below the collar looks really, really nice. As I said, not really many changes. Probably going to give this one about a 5.5 to a 6. It is nice enough, but that Aramex you just can't stop looking at it for the wrong reasons. So I'm going to go 5.5.
No, I'm fully with you. Like I keep sort of seeing these jerseys, and immediately I start to think of those like tier lists, and I start to think of where would I put these, and the Sharks jersey. It kind of reminds me of the Raiders jersey, right? Like it's not a bad jersey. It's just the sponsor kind of stands out for the wrong reasons. So, yeah, like the points bet, I like it, and like the Aramax in theory shouldn't be too much different, but just I feel like the Aramax with the black jersey, the points bet, I should say, with the black jersey stands out quite nice. Works with the blue. It's just that Aramax kind of just kills it a little bit.
I don't understand why teams, like we've seen the Raiders and the Sharks, are using a lighter colour than their traditional logo. You see a darker colour for the Raiders and the logo, lighter colour jersey, and then you're seeing a darker or dark blue Cronulla Shark on the logo, but you're seeing this very light blue almost turning into an aqua colour instead of a blue. And I don't really like that, man. I don't like it at all.
Generally, that's something that like I probably wouldn't have picked up until you said that, but that is actually spot on. Like you can literally see it's so clear cut right now. Like everybody, all the viewers you're seeing on the screen right now, is you can see it so clearly in the home jersey, just the difference in the blue, and like you better see it in the Raiders jersey as well. It's just,
and you can see
that's something I wouldn't have picked up on. But yeah, you're exactly right.
Well, look at it almost looks like they have gone with a bit of a lighter shark for the home jersey compared to the away one. And that's what I don't like. Like if you had that away jersey, I could be saying things here, but the colors of the Sharks look different for me. If you look close enough, it looks like a darker shark in that away jersey, which they've probably got to do for that black design, which is a much better design than the one over there. But you don't want black for a team that's blue. I know a lot of clubs are doing these black and white alternate kind of designs, but they're playing around with.
It reminds me of NBA, right? Like, maybe even they should sort of go the NBA route where, like, you have your home jersey, which is like one set design that every single club uses, and then your away design that you can kind of experiment a little bit. But that's kind of what it feels like. A lot of these clubs are using whatever color that their predominant color is, and then they've got a black jersey. Or a white jersey. Like they're kind of, there's no that I can think of. There's none that are like some crazy design for an away jersey or anything.
No. The Sharks fans will be hating us right now. We had a rant on that one. So we'll move on to the next one. It is the Gold Coast Titans. Now, this is the second or third year of the Titans' new logo. I still miss the old Titans logo. I think it looked great on the jersey. Yep. I think it was great design as well. I think it's okay. The thing about it kind of looks like swimmers or Cozzies, in my opinion. But then again, you're going with that Gold Coast beachy kind of vibe. And because they've gone to those colours of like water, sand for this particular team, I think it kind of works. And then they've got these sun-looking sponsors up around the shoulder, upper arm. So I actually don't think this is too bad. I think I would give this one around a 6.5. About 6.5. I don't think it pushes that 7 area compared to some other clubs, but I think a lot of people will disrespect this jersey saying it's a mess, but I would disagree with them when you think about the culture and just what this club is, where this club is. I think they've done a nice job with that home jersey for 2023.
So I personally think like I would probably give this somewhere in like the 5 sort of region. again, it's not like a terrible jersey. I really don't like the My Pioneer in terms of like the away and the home jersey. It stands out in both of them. I love like the little gradient pattern and like the Titans jersey. I like the actual colors of the Titans side. So it would make sense to me to like some of the jerseys. And I've really liked some of the jerseys in the past. I really like their sort of foundation jersey. I like the jerseys that came afterwards when they were still with Adidas, I think it was. But for me, this just, I don't know, it just doesn't hit right. But in saying that, I feel like this is definitely a jersey that, I mean, we're only seeing like the upper, like the actual shirt. And I feel like once you see it on players, you see the shorts there, and like the shorts, I'm assuming would be like a darker sort of blue towards the bottom of the jersey. I feel like it sort of blends in a lot more, and it will look a lot better. But for me, this again, it kind of just, it's very basic, and then the sponsor just doesn't do it for me at all.
Yeah, no. Look, there is definitely some pros and cons about this one, and we've gone for similar ratings in 6 and 5 there. We move on to the Manly Sea Eagles, where we've got 3 jerseys here. Look, we'll kind of just touch on the home one. That's more what this video particularly is about. They haven't gone for an over-the-top collar design. They've gone for a simple kind of white outline, nice Manly colours, great positioning for the logo, standard sponsors. PointsBet seems to be everywhere, from Penrith to bloody Cronulla to Manly, but there you go. It's on the jersey once again. As far as Manly go, and if you were a Manly fan wanting to get this jersey, I think it's a great addition. I think the colouring looks great. I think it's better than some jerseys, especially last year's Manly jerseys. And look, I'm going to give this. I actually really like this one. I'm going to give this one a 7.5, just because I think it kind of brings back those classic vibes. So I'm looking forward to Manly wearing this throughout the season.
Yeah, my first thought was to give this an 8. Like, it's so clean and it screams Manly. You know what I mean? Like, you see this jersey and you immediately go, this is definitely a Manly jersey. There's not anything you can look at and be like, oh, it doesn't fit. Like, I think I talked about this in previous years in terms of the PointsBet. PointsBet's always been pretty good with their sponsors. I mean, we talked about with the Sharks as being like one of the better points of their jersey. And same way with Manly, like they've gone with the white. They're pretty open compared to some of the other sponsors to change their colors depending on what it was. I really like the home jersey. The away jersey looks kind of strange with the red on there. Like if they'd gone with the same sort of maroon as what Manly normally use and the rest of the jersey have used, I'd probably say that's really, really nice. But it just feels weird that they've changed the color for every other jersey. Like you can see sort of at the bottom, the alternate one, which has gone for the same sort of color as Manly. And then all of a sudden the away jersey has got the red. Like that kind of seems a little bit weird for me. So if you're going overall, like maybe drop it to a 7, but in terms of like the home jersey, I give that an 8. Like there's nothing I can really fault with it.
It's a nice design, that one, for the Sea Eagles fans of 2023. Let's move into the Melbourne Storm. The one on the away jersey really does look like a soccer jersey. I got mixed opinions on this one.
Yeah, agreed. That's literally my first thought then.
Yeah. You know what? I like it. I really like the away jersey. Yeah. The home one, I think there's been much better jerseys in the past. I don't think it's great. I think that some of the different lines around the sleeve as well as the neck area look a bit discoloured, disjointed. The logo even looks like it's almost falling off the shirt, probably for both of these, but more on the home one. As far as this away jersey goes, I think it's an original design. I think it's very different. I actually like the red in the red Z there because of the brand being red Z. Obviously, it's a cool little joke there. Compared to that away Manly jersey being red, it looks a bit off. Whereas I actually really like this away jersey for Melbourne. So, look, I'm going to give the away jersey for Melbourne a 9 out of 10. I think it's going to look great on players. You're going to think they're soccer players, though. And as for that home jersey there, I'm not the greatest of fans. There's too many colours going on. I'm going to give it a 5.5.
I'm thinking, am I wrong? Is the home jersey pretty much what they've been running with the last couple of years?
It probably is, but you just love those old. They got to bring back some of those dark purple ones. You know, they've been there.
It's funny. Like when I think of the Storm, like the real dark purple, like you think of back when like Inglis and stuff was still there. That's kind of what I associate Melbourne with. But like you said, I really like this away jersey, and I know like you said it, and I was definitely thinking it, and I feel like a lot of people are going to say it, and I feel like a lot of people are going to sort of use it against it and maybe disagree with us. But like you gave it a 9, like I can't disagree with that. I really rate this jersey.
Yeah.
But I feel like purple's just like a nice color in general,
The
especially
only-
the particular shade that they've gone with. But just the design of it, I think works well. Like you even see the Suzuki there. The red Z doesn't look terrible. The rest of the little sponsors, the logos, everything else, it just looks so clean. And it's just something different. Like this is the first time we've seen in a long time a lot of these teams using the away jersey to experiment a little bit.
Do you think, you mentioned it there, the Suzuki, that's the only thing I question a bit. I think that they could have gone with kind of a black outline of that S. I think the white kind of works with the purple there, but it almost looks like you can hardly see it. And you don't want to see over the top for your sponsors, but it'd be good to see who is sponsoring. And it looks hardly visible. So the only thing I'd change is having a black outline around that Suzuki. But besides that, I love it. And honestly, if I can get it for the right price, that might be one to cop this season for future vlogs.
Yeah, I can definitely see that with like a little outline, but it kind of fits with what their home jersey was. They've kind of just done the exact same thing. I mean, they've shown that they can deviate from like the red Z is quite different from the home to the away. They can move away from it, but it's just I'm so glad that for once a lot of these sides, we're seeing the Warriors next. We're about to see it, where a lot of these sides are just using the exact same design, but just changing 1 or 2 colors and just throwing it out there. Where Storm have actually come up with a complete new design, and it looks really nice. And like I said, soccer jersey is a thing that's going to get mentioned a lot, and I've seen it a lot on social media, but I really like it.
All right, let's talk about the next one. I'll let you, I'll hand over the reins to you again here. And we have Iron Man's jersey. We have another Marvel jersey for the NRL by the looks of it. What do you think of this Warriors jersey? Very different design.
So in terms of like design wise, this is the exact same Warriors jersey we've seen for the last 2 years, I think, 2-3 years, something along the lines of that. Like I feel like I can still remember like Roger Tuivasa-Sheck running around this sort of jersey. For a good while, we've seen the Warriors play in like a black jersey, and they would sort of change things, but they've been running with like the blue and the white, and Vodafone's been the one. Obviously, they changed to One New Zealand. That's the only real change, and like purely in terms of a look of the jersey, I don't like it. And I think that might be the common sort of thought process in this, is that the jersey looks kind of strange. Like I get like the green kind of goes with the green that they're using, but it looks weird. It's got just a big random ass circle. And like you said, you're making reference to Iron Man. Like that's kind of what it is. Like really, it just looks kind of strange.
Yeah, the arc reactor definitely takes away some points from me. They haven't gone with a new design in a few years now. I think the Warriors probably should go with a new design next year. We'll see if it happens.
Also, I will say it's funny because like how many years did we always talk about like Warriors were the one side that you were like, oh, they've got like 50 jerseys this year because they've got so many random designs and all that. Then the last couple of years, they've kind of just been running the same jersey. So it's kind of strange for the Warriors to be the one side who is literally stuck to their one design, really, and haven't deviated away towards it, anything else, and haven't changed colors. And like I would love to see like what would this jersey look like instead of the blue, maybe if it was a black, or just like little things like that, where even like the design of it, you just change a couple of colors and you got something different. We might be talking different about these ones.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan. I'm going to go with the 5.5 for my rating.
Yeah, I'm going to give this like a 3 because it's just the same jersey it's been the last couple of years. And also, I think it's a downgrade on the previous ones they've used in the last couple of years. And speaking of downgrades, here we go. Here's the Knights.
Here's the Knights. Now, the Knights, I still remember last year, I was absolutely ranting about the Knights. I think it was the NIB logo. It looks a little bit different.
We're definitely talking about the NIB logo. I still remember that clearly.
I remember it last year. Go and check out the video. I might try and include the previous one in the description. You've got the McDonald Jones up around the upper arm shoulder area there. You've got some little classic triangles for, I think it's Dynasty, towards the top there. Knights logo, NIB. I think that I've liked some of the away jerseys for the Knights in previous years of this colour design. I don't think the NIB logo and the system that they've done once again works for the away jersey. I actually don't mind this home jersey though. I think the Knights have gone with kind of their traditional darker red, darker blue under the logo with those kind of triangles going in, and I like that. And then they've gone with a little bit of a lighter red towards the top. And I think a lot of people aren't going to like it. It's been a few years since that old Knights head was switched around, and we're getting used to it now. I'm going to give it is it a 6.5 or a 7? I'm going to go with a 6.5. It's not the best, but it's not horrible in my opinion. But the away jersey with the logo just doesn't work for me. So with that one, I'm going to go with a 5.5.
So personally, I'm going to give this like a 4. The home jersey, I think it is nice, but I feel like they also luck out. I sort of touched on this earlier. Like blue's my favorite color. They talked about the Bulldogs. They've got like a nice color scheme to work with. So by default, like you sort of think, how can they stuff up these jerseys? And yet here we are looking at the NIB logo, just looking strange, looking very, very strange. You touched on the actual Knights logo. I don't mind it these days. Like it's not too different to what they already had, apart from just switching the direction. But like the home jersey, it definitely looks like a home Knights jersey. In the past they've sort of experimented with like a darker blue as being like the main color. But I feel like when I think of the Knights, you always think of you need to have like a sort of balanced sort of thing of the red and the blue, and that's exactly what they've done. The NIB looks horrendous. And like the away one even looks horrendous for me. Just I don't know. Like you look at even like the V, like the V's there in the home jersey, but the away jersey it's not there. So you think, but like how they've sort of set up this jersey, like you think like at least the little V under the NIB would be there to some degree, but it's not. Like they've gone with like a primarily white jersey by the looks of things, but like it just I don't know. It looks kind of cheap. Yeah, it's definitely not one of my better jerseys. I'm not sure in terms of where I've rated some of these jerseys 1 to 10, but that away jersey is probably one of the weaker ones I've seen.
Yeah. I prefer the home one much over the away one there.
Yeah.
Let's move into the North Queensland Cowboys. I'm pretty sure last year we both loved the Cowboys jersey from memory. This year, a little bit different. It looks a little bit wider as well. It might just be the design that they've kind of it just looks a lot wider than some of the other jerseys, but that's just different.
Well, just like in terms of the jersey, the first thing I noticed was that like, is it actually different from the previous years?
Let's have a quick look. I'll hold it up. So last year was what, 2022?
I know the Cowboys have been like, I remember one where like the away jersey from a previous year ended up being the home jersey the next year. And this one is like the same jersey, but they've just changed the blue for the white in terms of the bottom. And like, I actually really like it. Like, this is something that I'm like, this is a nice jersey. Stick with it because it looks good. We've seen in previous years it looks good.
That was last year's home jersey.
Yeah, so it is fairly different. Yeah, okay.
It is fairly different. They've gone with a bit of a different design.
Well, I really like this one.
You prefer that one over this one? I actually really liked last year's, and I think the Bundaberg rum towards the top was a fantastic sponsor logo up the top. A lot of the other sponsors is fairly similar, and they had last year the cowboy kind of outline of the logo where the Toyota is. So look, I actually think this is a downgrade. You obviously disagree with me. You really like this one.
No, I still think it's a downgrade from last year's.
Yep.
Just when you showed the picture, it was like you could look at it and be like, okay, clearly not the same jersey, but just in terms of like, it's not a complete different jersey, but like they also another side that I really like the color scheme that they have in general. So I'm probably going to rate their jerseys a little bit higher than I would a lot of the other ones, but I do think it is a downgrade from last year, but I still do think it's a pretty good jersey.
Yep, I'm going to go with a 6. I think it's a fair rating, just over halfway. I think last year's was one of my favourite jerseys that I've seen from the Cowboys in a long time. So, look, as you mentioned, downgrade, but still nice colour scheme and pretty good sponsors, besides obviously the Bundaberg rum at the top being missing. I thought it was a great design. So I'm going to go with 6.
I'll go with a 7. I'm sort of just trying to sort of base it off where I've pick some of the other ones. So I'm going to go a 7.
All right, let's move into the Parramatta Eels.
Sorry, is this the exact same jersey?
No. So the home jersey is pretty much, I think there is one change, which I can't remember what it is. Now, with the away jersey, it is extremely similar. However, the collar is now yellow. The collar was previously, I will double check. I know there are some differences for this Eel away jersey. The grading colours around the logo are also different, as well as the stripes around the middle of the arm there. I'm just going to double check and find a photo. My new Google's weird on my phone. So there was a blue collar at the top with 2 yellow stripes. Those 2 yellow stripes are gone, replaced with the black Macron. The A-Land sponsor was inside a yellow label. And then, as I mentioned, they added the grading around the logo. Just once again, I will hold that up so that you can see it. Quite different. Everybody looks at it and thinks it's the exact same. But as you can see, quite a few differences. And I actually think this is an upgrade of last year.
I was just going to say that. I honestly think it is an upgrade. When you show, because I kind of, you see the home jersey and you go, oh, well, that's the same jersey.
Yeah.
I like the home jersey anyways from the previous year. So that's not a bad thing for me. I think it's a great jersey. Then the away one, you kind of see it and you think that you see it's like a mirror of the home one, same as the alternate one. So you sort of go, oh, well, there must have just been a copy from last year. But when you just showed it it is quite a significant difference in the away jersey. Like same sort of color scheme where they've gone the away jersey as a white. But
the only problem
the design is quite different, but I really like it. I think all the sponsors look nice. I do like their little blue and yellow that they've showed, like the little stripes. I really rate this. I genuinely give this like an 8.5. This is one of the better jerseys in terms of.
I think it's a really great jersey. I mentioned it's an upgrade from last year. The only thing that takes away points for me is the collar. And there's a few different jerseys I mentioned. They should just go for a simple design at the collar. It's just bulky. It's messy. I think last year's collar was way better. I know I just held it up. I think it was black last year or blue. It was blue last year.
We also mentioned we mentioned like at the start, like the Broncos one was another one that like if they fix the collar up, it would fix so much in terms of the actual jersey as a whole. Yeah. So I get what you mean. Like sort of, I feel like a lot of people will be watching this and going like, you're really harping on the collars a lot, but like the collar does play I feel like it does play a big deal in terms of the actual overall look.
And not just that, especially playing in it. If you have a heavier designed collar or a kind of logo on, say, an NFL jersey, you can feel the weight about it. So NRL players playing in these jerseys are going to feel that kind of weight. Not saying it's a disadvantage, but one, it doesn't look good, and two, it doesn't feel good. So besides that, I think Parramatta's done a fantastic job. We had obviously a big season last year, so these jerseys will probably be selling off the shelves. We'll see how they go in 2023. But as for this jersey, I'm going to give it a bit of a weird rating, but I'm going to go a 7.9. I can't give it an 8. There's a few, like, as I mentioned, that collar doesn't stick out for me. I'll just go 7.5. I just won't confuse people. Let's go 7.5. We both agree that the Eels have done a great job with their jersey.
Yep, agreed. Like
I'll let you speak about the next one. It is the Penrith Panthers, the back-to-back premiers. These ones have sold out already, I believe.
So I'm just looking at the home jersey and the alternate. So we're sort of seeing it's the exact same jersey, but they've sort of gone with like the modern jersey is like the one that they've got right now, but maybe like the 03 sort of team, like that sort of era where they sort of had the lighter green. They sort of gone with those different colors. I think that's quite interesting.
Celebrating the premierships, you know.
Yeah, just add another one to the list. I mean, Pink Panthers is always there. It always looks nice. Goes with the Oak Plus, clean one. I mean, like at this point, I mean, winning premierships, you don't want to deviate too much. Like their fans are going to buy their jerseys regardless because of just how good they've been. But like they've actually got cool colors to work with in terms of like the red, green, and yellow. I really like this one. like in terms of creativity, it's definitely like it's not a creative jersey. This is something they've been rocking for the last 3 or 4 years. But just in terms of like the basic design, like it's so nice. It's so clean. The Oak Plus works. All the jerseys, like the actual. We talked a lot about the logos of the actual club in terms of like the outline and stuff. Like I feel like the white of the Panthers jersey looks quite nice. Like I got to give this like an 8.5. Like I give it higher if it was something like new, but it's just because they've run it for the last couple of years, it's nothing different. But like it's such a nice jersey, and we all know how this looks in person. Kind of similar to what I didn't mention it, but I was sort of thinking it with the Para jersey, where we've seen what the home jersey looks like. We've seen what the away one looks like, or at least the yellow one looks like. We've seen what they look like in like when the players are wearing it, and you can go, yeah, all right, that's a nice jersey, that's a nice kit. We've seen the shorts, we've seen the socks. It all just works, and this is what Penrith is.
Yeah, no, I agree. I won't give it as high. I will give this one a 7, but obviously they've been rocking it for a few years, a few little differences, but the jersey's going off the shelves. Why change much? And then you mentioned it, the pink, it's just a nice design, and it absolutely looks great off the field, great on the field, throughout the seasons that they have had it as well. So high ratings for the back-to-back premiers. All right.
Even when we talked about the like the outline of the logos, like the Oak Plus is another one that a lot of other clubs have just straight up used the logo, but they've got like the outline of the oak has got the white in it, so it pops a little bit more than some of the other sponsors as well. So that's something to mention.
Yeah. Let's move into the South Sydney Rabbitohs. A nice little sleek collar there. I think the Crown Resorts on the shoulder is one of the better shoulder design logos. I think it just really, really fits with the colours they're going with. Obviously, the green and white of the Rabbitohs. I kind of question the black Rabbitoh. I kind of think the black should be on the away jersey and the white should be on the home. But overall, I think this is really one of the better jerseys, and I'm actually going to give this one an 8. I think they've done a really good job. I think it all works. It doesn't look too messy. It just doesn't look like a sponsor shouldn't be there either. It's just that rabbit taking away from me being black and white on the wrong sides.
In terms of the Rabbitohs jerseys, there's nothing that you can say, oh, well, they should have done this, they should have done that, or they shouldn't have done this. In terms of like the black one, I feel like that's been something they've done for quite a while, right? Like where the home jersey is the black. Like for me, like you said, I feel like the white and even like the red MG, I feel like that seems like something that should be the home jersey. But I feel like for quite a while, the black's been the home jersey. That's the thing with the Rabbitohs, where we're talking about other clubs, and this is where I would take it away a little bit, is that they run the exact same jersey, just different outline a little bit. So,
yeah, they've started doing that, I think, for the last, I think this is the 3rd year of this kind of design. And again,
I was going to say the whole time we've done these sort of videos, they've definitely done this. I feel like in terms of some of them, I feel like maybe like where the What If, they might have had different sponsors, something along the lines of that. But like they could come up with something a little bit more creative, and that is something that I sort of did mention in terms of jerseys, that like you can be a little bit more creative with your away jersey. You can experiment a little bit. Like we've seen teams in the past where like Broncos had their traditional Broncos, and then their away jersey was playing with a green, like this Rabbitohs jersey. Like you can sort of do whatever you want with an away jersey, but Rabbitohs keep with the tradition. And in one sense, it's great that they keep with the tradition, because not a lot of clubs do keep with the tradition. But also it becomes a point where it's like it's a little bit boring at this point. So like the home jersey, I actually really like the home jersey. I like the black, I like the MG. All the sponsors look nice. Everything kind of blends in well. Like you said, the crown, which I think the crown's been with them for quite a while at this point.
Yeah.
I kind of associate them with the Rabbitohs. Like it's been that long. But like the collar looks nice. We talk about the collar. I give the home jersey like an 8. The away jersey, it's just like, it's the same jersey. Like an away jersey, a home jersey, it doesn't really change too much. You may as well just wear both the same jersey. But I think also, like, when we look at the grand scheme of things in terms of the shorts are different, right? Like when they actually play, I think. So I feel like when it comes up against other sides, that's where it does sort of stand out a lot more. So I might be being a bit harsh here, but yeah, like I'll give it like a 6.5, just pure out of like creativity. But like in terms of like the home design, it's really nice. It's just more so that like they basically got the same jersey with different shorts.
Yep. All right, let's move into the Dragons. Do they ever
Oh.
change their jersey? It's always that red V design, obviously the team being the red V. I don't think we're going to take too long here. The Dragons just never change their jersey. Why should they? They've got a nice design. They've got the old St. George Dragon banking logo there. Nice positioning. It's just recycled every year pretty much. The alternate jersey, I've never been too much of a fan of. As to the home jersey, I've only ever worn it, I believe, once for a vlog, but I think it's a pretty nice design. So look, I'll just go. Let's go with a 7.5 for this one.
I'll give it like a 5 because like the Dragons jersey, like you said, it's like the same jersey every year. I feel like the red V, like there's not a lot you can do, but I kind of sort of think of when they won the premiership and had Adidas. That's kind of what I think of like the Dragons at this point, and I much prefer them jerseys. The alternate, I always look at it. I just think, why do they not just run the straight up Steelers jersey? Like they sort of go with like it's the red and the white, and it's not obviously not like the opposite. Maybe even like the opposite. Run like the white V, something like that. Just something a little bit different. Just give us something different than just like a couple stripes here and there, and we got the St. George logo.
The alternate's
like,
horrible. The alternate's horrible. I'm going to give it a 4. I'm going to roast it. It's up there with the Broncos. The alternate Dragons jersey is one of the worst in the competition.
Even we'll mention like the blue, the sleeve sponsors got like a blue that just contrasts terribly with the red. Like we're looking at the Roosters right now, and obviously they've got red, white, and blue, but like sponsors are just completely different. Like it stands out a lot in the Dragons jersey where it doesn't so much in the Roosters. And like we got to mention, like we're talking about the Roosters jersey right now, got the home and away. It doesn't deviate too much towards what they do. I know the away jersey a little bit, they sort of mix it up a little bit, but I actually really like this jersey. I look at the home jersey, it's definitely a Roosters jersey. It's very traditional for them. All the Steggles is kind of in the perfect spot. Every other one sort of fits well in terms of like the sleeve sponsors, works well. The away jersey is definitely another Roosters jersey. It looks nice and clean. What are your thoughts on it?
The blue on the Steggles looks fantastic. It's a very different type of away jersey. They've got that kind of Warriors miniature version of the circle up towards the sleeve, and it looks way better than just big, bold, and up in your face. The City Index.
Am I noticing? I'll mention. Am I noticing that the sleeve sponsor is it and the Steggles, are they the same color compared to like the rest of the V, or am I sort of seeing things?
No, I believe it is. I think it is. I think the sponsor.
Yeah, so they've kind of like color coordinated this a little bit, where it's like the Steggles. That's something that when you started talking, I kind of noticed it after I'd already talked about it, and I was like, they've gone with like the real darker blue for just like the basic design, and the sponsor they've gone generally with a lighter blue, which I think it's nice rather than having like one shade of blue here, one shade of blue there, another shade of blue here. The color's a little bit different. Like they've all gone with similar sort of ones that looks nice. You can tell this is the sponsor and this is the general jersey.
Yeah, absolutely love it. I'm going to go with an 8 comparing both of these together.
I'll go an 8.
All right. I think, no, it's not the last one. How many more? We got 2 to go. Spoiler alert. Let's move into the NRL's official 17th team. The Dolphins, not the Redcliffe Dolphins, not the Queensland Dolphins. And look, we saw this jersey. It looks like a milkshake. It looks like a Malteser. We're going to talk about which one we think's better. Look, very similar jerseys. Obviously, for the away one, you've got the white that a lot of clubs are doing there. The Budget Direct is not in a box, so it kind of looks better there, in my opinion. The red stripes look okay in the middle. But I overall, besides that kind of messy budget sponsor, I prefer the home jersey. Again, like the Rabbitohs, I don't understand why that kind of Dolphin on the away jersey is not on the home. The Dolphin outline looks fantastic on the away jersey compared to the home. Maybe it's how small it is on the computer and it will be better in person. It's not the greatest of jerseys, but I much prefer the home over the away jersey. And I'm going to give this one a 6.5.
Yeah, that's probably a great way to put it. Like the 6.5. I think the Kings sponsor is a bit of an eyesore in terms of you've got a predominantly like a red jersey and like that sort of color scheme you're going with, and you just got like a random blue just in the middle of the jersey. Like blue and red are such a contrast. Everybody knows that. So that part I'm not like the biggest fan of, but like I have seen the actual full jersey, which is now being modeled by some of the players, and I think it does look a lot better. Like in terms of the actual full, the shorts and the socks and all that, it does make a lot more sense. But everything that everyone's said in the past about this jersey is probably right in terms of it's just like a strange jersey. And also we're comparing it to the Redcliffe Dolphins, right? Like this is a new side, but it's not a new side. So we can look at previous Redcliffe jerseys and you go, well, they're red and white or red, white and black or whatever they are. And then all of a sudden you got this random like yellowy sort of color. I don't even know what you would describe this color as, but it's there. So it's just a little bit strange in that regards, but like it's not the worst jersey. And like you said, what we give it, like 6.5, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's a fair rating. All right, let's get into the final jersey of the video. Now, this is the West Tigers, a team to be, a little bit excited about. There's a few recruits going under the radar at the West Tigers. You've got Isaiah Papali'i here. You've got John Bateman. You've got David Clemmer. So a few different additions to the Tigers that will be rocking this jersey throughout the season. Obviously, orange is a predominant colour for the Tigers. For me personally, I'm not a fan of the away jersey at all. It kind of looks like
I'm so glad you said that. Okay.
It looks like a Rexona spray can or something like that, like a deodorant can, in my opinion, the way it's done.
I've got that same Rexona can in my car right now. Spot on with that.
However, I actually like their home jersey. I don't think many people will. I think the white stripe is a bit different towards the middle. You've got some small outlines, a little sponsor. You don't have to go too big, and you haven't put it around a kind of bold box like that messy away jersey. I feel like the logo for Bryden's Lawyers is the right size. It's not too big, not too small. And you've got a nice little addition of that orange outline right at the bottom of the jersey. So I actually think this is one of the better ones. I really do like this one. And the only thing for me, for some reason, might be the player, but the sleeves look really, really short. It might just be the way they're posing, but compared to that away jersey, which you can see full extent of, the sleeve looks really, really short. Besides that, though, I would probably lean towards a 7.5 to an 8 on this jersey. So I will probably go with about a 7.5 for this one.
I'm going to go with this one for a 7, maybe even like 6.5. Like you go the home jersey, like you said, great jersey. Like if you notice the home jersey and the away jersey have got complete different oranges.
Yeah,
which I think is something to mention. Like the away jersey is super bright, whereas the home jersey is kind of a lighter orange. The home jersey is so clean. It's so nice. It's something they've run for the last couple of years, but it's nice. And I feel like the Tigers kind of get stuck with, similar to what we talked about some of the other clubs with like, your Rabbitohs and such, where like they've had the Bryden's Lawyers for quite a while now. So it's not going to be a drastic change, and they don't need to make a drastic change because the jersey is pretty nice. But the away jersey, I'm not the biggest fan of. I think it looks kind of gross. The colors look kind of weird. I don't even know if that's the same orange throughout the whole jersey. Like it kind of looks like a gradient sort of thing, but I don't know if that's just the actual photo. But it looks like it's kind of lighter in some parts and darker in some parts, and I don't know.
There you go. Well, guys, we want to thank you for joining this video. It's been a premiere. It's obviously gone for quite a while, but we're proud because our teams, the Parramatta Eels and the Canterbury Bulldogs, are some of the better jerseys according to us. And let's see what you guys think in the comments. But I'm definitely looking forward to having you on next year or even throughout the year, Mr. Luke. Thank you so much for jumping on the channel once again. And what have you got coming up?
Well, look, I've been a little bit slack with the uploads, but now that the footy season's get a little bit closer, I'd love to do some more videos going over some of the lineups and, some of the squads and that sort of stuff. We've seen a lot of transfers, a lot of signings, a lot of rumors going around, so plenty of stuff to be talked about. So that's probably my future is somewhere in Rugby League Live 4, maybe even Rugby League Live 5. Fingers crossed. But hopefully doing something in terms of Rugby League Live 4 in terms of like the new squads and that sort of stuff. So that's probably my future. But thank you for having me on here, man. Like I messaged you briefly earlier about doing something in terms of going to a game or such. So I think that could be something quite fun for us.
Yeah, I think we've definitely got to get you on a vlog in 2023. Almost said 2024 there. I'm a year ahead. But guys, make sure you like this video. Make sure you go on over and subscribe to Mr. Luke Sport. If you're new around here, subscribe to the channel. Hope you enjoyed it. Let us know your favourite jersey in the comments, and we'll see you guys later.